Sicily, July 10th, 1943. Audie Murphy, 19 years old, crouched in a landing craft heading toward a beach filled with German machine guns. He had never killed a man. In 6 hours, he would kill his first. In 12 hours, he would watch his best friend's head explode right next to him. Brain matter would spray across his face, and nothing would ever be the same. This is episode 2. The day Audie Murphy stopped being a boy and became something else, something the war needed, something dangerous. The night before the invasion, Audie could not sleep. The transport ship rocked in the Mediterranean Sea. Hundreds of soldiers packed into the hold below deck. Some played cards, some wrote last letters home, some prayed. Audie cleaned his rifle for the 100th time, disassembled it, cleaned every part, reassembled it, checked the sights, loaded and unloaded the magazine. The repetitive motion calmed his nerves. A soldier named Brandon sat next to him. Brandon was from Ohio, 20 years old, tall, strong, everything Audie was not. Brandon talked constantly, nervous energy. He showed Audie a photograph of his girlfriend back home. Her name was Sarah. They planned to marry when the war ended. Brandon had the ring already, kept it in his pocket, said it was good luck. Audie nodded and said nothing. He had learned that staying quiet was easier than making friends who might die tomorrow. At 0300 hours, the order came. Load into landing craft. The invasion begins at dawn. Audie climbed down rope nets into a small boat that would carry 40 soldiers to the beach. The boat rocked violently in the waves. Soldiers vomited from seasickness and fear. The smell was overwhelming. Sweat, vomit, gun oil. Fear had a smell. Audie learned that in the landing craft. The boats formed up offshore, hundreds of them. Thousands of American soldiers heading toward a hostile beach defended by German forces who had months to prepare defenses. Artillery shells screamed overhead, Allied bombardment softening the beach defenses. Explosions lit up the pre-dawn darkness. The naval barrage was supposed to destroy German positions. It did not. The Germans were dug in deep, waiting, patient, ready to kill every American who stepped onto that sand. The landing craft engines roared. The boats surged toward the beach. Audie gripped his rifle. His knuckles were white, his heart hammered in his chest. This was it. Everything he had trained for, everything the drill sergeants had screamed about. But training happened on safe ranges with paper targets. This was real. The Germans would shoot back. The boat hit the beach hard. The front ramp dropped with a metallic clang. Audie saw chaos. The beach was on fire. German artillery shells exploded in the surf. Geysers of water and sand erupted everywhere. Machine gun tracers cut through the smoke like deadly fireflies. Men screamed. Men fell into the water and did not get up. The ocean turned red with blood. The sergeant yelled, "Move! Move! Get off this beach or we all die here!" Audie jumped into waist-deep water. The cold shocked him. His gear was heavy, his boots filled with water. He struggled forward. Bullets snapped through the air around him. He heard them cracking past his head, supersonic rounds breaking the sound barrier inches from his skull. A soldier to his left took a bullet in the throat and fell backward into the surf. Blood fountained from his neck. He thrashed for a few seconds and then went still, face down, floating. Audie kept moving. He could not think about the dead soldier, could not think about anything except reaching the beach. His legs burned from the effort of running through water while carrying 60 pounds of equipment. Finally, his boots hit sand. He ran, sprinted, threw himself behind a low dune. Other soldiers dove down next to him. Everyone was breathing hard. Everyone looked terrified. Explosions erupted all around them. A mortar shell landed 20 feet away. The blast wave threw sand over everyone. Shrapnel buzzed through the air. A soldier screamed that he was hit. Blood poured from his leg. A medic crawled over to help. Bullets kicked up sand around the medic. He kept working. Tourniquet, morphine, bandage. The wounded soldier stopped screaming and stared at the sky with unfocused eyes. The sergeant pointed inland. "See that stone wall? We take cover there. On my command. Move." The squad jumped up and ran. Audie ran with them. Bullets cracked past. One tugged at his sleeve but did not penetrate. He dove behind the stone wall and pressed himself flat against it. His chest heaved. His hands shook. He had made it off the beach, but the beach was easy compared to what came next. 200 yards ahead stood a farmhouse, German machine gun nest. The sergeant looked at Audie. "Murphy, I heard you can shoot." "Yes, sir, good. Because if you cannot take out that machine gun, none of us are leaving this wall alive." Audie raised his head slowly, cautious. Snipers killed careless soldiers. He spotted the farmhouse, 2 stories, stone construction, small windows, perfect defensive position. Muzzle flashes erupted from a second-floor window. The German machine gun swept back and forth, pinning down American troops across a wide area. Every few seconds, another soldier fell. Audie studied the window, calculated distance, about 200 yards. Wind was light, left to right, maybe 5 miles per hour. He had made harder shots hunting deer in Texas, but deer did not shoot back. He steadied his breathing. Slow inhale, slow exhale. The rifle felt familiar in his hands, comfortable, like an extension of his body. He aimed at the window, waited for the machine gunner to appear. Patience, always patience. A good hunter never rushed the shot. The German leaned forward to adjust his aim, just for a second, just long enough. Audie squeezed the trigger. The rifle kicked against his shoulder. The German jerked backward and disappeared. The machine gun went silent. Audie did not feel triumph, did not feel anything. He simply worked the bolt, chambered another round, waited to see if another German would take the dead man's place. Another German appeared at a different window. Audie fired. The German fell. A third German tried to drag the machine gun to a new position. Audie shot him in the chest. 3 dead Germans in less than a minute. The soldiers around Audie stared. "Where the hell did you learn to shoot like that, Murphy?" "Texas," Audie said. And that was all he said. The sergeant ordered the squad forward. They moved in short rushes. 10 yards, take cover. 10 more yards, take cover. Constant movement. Never staying in one place long enough for German artillery to find them. They reached the farmhouse. Audie went in first, his rifle ready. Finger on the trigger, safety off. Room by room, stairs, second floor. 3 dead Germans sprawled around the machine gun. Blood pooled on the wooden floor. Audie looked at their faces. Young, maybe 18 or 19, his age. They wore Wehrmacht uniforms. They had identification tags. They had been alive 5 minutes ago. Now they were corpses. Audie's stomach turned. He walked outside quickly, behind the farmhouse where nobody could see him. He vomited. His hands shook. His whole body shook. He had just killed 3 human beings, not animals, men with families, with homes, with reasons to live, but they were the enemy. And if Audie had not killed them, they would have killed him and everyone in his squad. War did not care about sympathy. War only cared about survival. The sergeant found him, put a hand on his shoulder. "First kills are always hard, Murphy, but you saved lives today. Those Germans would have killed 20 Americans before we took that position. You did good. Get your head right. We move out in 5 minutes." Audie picked up his rifle, wiped his mouth, rejoined his squad, and he understood this was just the beginning. The killing had just started. The 3rd Infantry Division pushed inland across Sicily. Every day brought combat. Every day brought death. The beautiful Mediterranean island became a slaughterhouse. German forces defended every town, every crossroads, every hill. They were professionals, well-trained, well-equipped, and they made the Americans pay for every yard of ground. Audie fought almost every day, sometimes multiple firefights in a single day. He stopped vomiting after kills, stopped shaking. The human mind adapts, even to horror, especially to horror. Killing became routine, mechanical, aim, fire, reload, repeat. He killed 5 Germans, then 10, then 15. He stopped counting after 20. Numbers did not matter, only survival mattered. His squad began to trust him. Audie could shoot better than anyone. He spotted enemy positions before anyone else. He moved quietly through brush like a ghost. The skills he learned hunting rabbits to feed his starving siblings now kept him alive in a different kind of forest. A forest where the prey carried rifles and grenades and wanted to kill him just as badly as he wanted to kill them. The other soldiers started calling him Murph, started following his lead even though he was one of the youngest in the company. Officers noticed him. He received a promotion to private first class, then to corporal. 19 years old and men twice his age followed his orders. But Audie did not want the promotions, did not want the attention. He just wanted to do his job and survive long enough to send money home to his siblings. But war changed him in ways he did not recognize yet. He became quieter, more distant. He stopped writing long letters home. His letters became shorter, simpler. I am fine. Sending money. Love, Audie. Nothing about combat, nothing about what he saw, nothing about who he was becoming. Because he did not know how to explain it. How could he tell his little brothers and sisters that he had killed 30 men? How could he describe watching friends bleed out in the dirt? Some things could not be written in letters. Nights were the hardest. When the fighting stopped and soldiers tried to sleep, that was when the memories came. The faces of dead Germans. The sounds of wounded men crying for medics. The smell of blood and cordite and death. Audie learned to sleep with his rifle, learned to sleep through artillery fire, learned to wake instantly at any unusual sound, but he never learned to sleep without nightmares. August 1943. A hill outside a nameless town. The day everything changed. The day Audie Murphy lost the last piece of his innocence. Intelligence said light resistance. Intelligence was wrong. The hill was heavily fortified. German troops with machine guns and mortars waited in prepared positions. They let the Americans climb halfway up the slope before opening fire. It was a kill zone, a trap. And the 3rd Infantry Division walked right into it. Audie's company took cover behind rocks and trees. Machine gun fire swept across the hillside. Mortar shells exploded. Shrapnel screamed through the air. Men fell. The company medic ran from wounded soldier to wounded soldier, trying to save lives, trying to do the impossible. The sergeant took a bullet in the leg. He screamed for help. Soldiers scattered. Chaos erupted. Audie and Brandon dove behind a cluster of boulders. They pressed themselves flat against the ground. Bullets ricocheted off rocks above their heads. Stone chips rained down. Brandon was breathing hard, panicking. His first real combat. The beach landing had been terrifying but brief. This was sustained fire. This was the Germans trying to kill everyone on that hill and doing a good job of it. Audie stayed calm. He had been in firefights for weeks now. He knew panic got you killed. He peeked around the boulder, spotted the German machine gun position, 60 yards uphill. Good position, good cover. Taking it would be suicide, but staying here was also suicide. The Germans would call in artillery soon, shell this entire hillside, kill everyone. The Americans had to move forward or retreat, and retreating meant failure. Brandon was talking, rambling, nervous chatter, something about Sarah, about the ring in his pocket, about getting married after the war. Audie told him to shut up and stay low, but Brandon kept talking. The fear needed an outlet. Words were the only outlet he had. He raised his head slightly to look for the sergeant, just wanted to see where their squad leader had fallen, just wanted to know if someone was still in command. The German sniper had been waiting for exactly that mistake. The moment someone raised their head, the moment someone gave him a target, the rifle cracked. The bullet hit Brandon in the right temple. The exit wound blew out the back of his skull. Blood, bone fragments, brain matter, all of it sprayed across Audie's face and chest. Brandon's body collapsed next to him, eyes open, mouth frozen mid-sentence, dead before he hit the ground. Audie stared. Time seemed to stop. He could see every detail. The blood on his hands, the pieces of skull on his uniform, Brandon's face, still recognizable but wrong, empty. The light gone from his eyes. The photograph of Sarah was still in Brandon's pocket. The ring was still there. But Brandon was gone. Just meat now. Just a corpse that would be wrapped in a tarp and buried in a foreign country thousands of miles from Ohio. Audie touched his own face. His hand came away red. Brandon's blood, warm, sticky. The smell of it filled his nose, copper and salt. The smell of death. He had smelled it before, but not like this. Not from someone he knew. Not from someone who had been alive and talking 2 seconds ago. Something inside Audie Murphy snapped. A wire pulled too tight for too long finally broke, and what came out was rage. Audie wiped Brandon's blood from his face. He looked at the German position, 60 yards away. The sniper who killed Brandon was up there. The machine gunners who pinned down his company were up there. They killed Brandon. They killed a kid from Ohio who just wanted to marry his girl. And Audie Murphy was going to kill every single one of them. He did not ask for permission, did not wait for orders. He grabbed his rifle and 4 grenades. He stood up. His squad yelled at him, "Get down! You will get killed!" The lieutenant screamed at him to take cover. Audie ignored everyone. He ran toward the German position. Bullets snapped past his head. One grazed his left shoulder. He did not feel it. One hit his canteen. Water sprayed out. He did not care. He only felt rage, pure, focused, all-consuming rage. He zigzagged up the hill, using every rock for cover, moving like he moved through the Texas woods hunting deer, fast but controlled, never staying exposed for more than 2 seconds. The Germans tried to track him, but he was too fast, too unpredictable. 30 yards, 20 yards, 10 yards. He pulled the pin on a grenade, let the spoon fly, counted 2 seconds, threw it into the German position, perfectly placed. The explosion killed 2 Germans instantly, wounded 3 more. Audie rushed the position while the Germans were still stunned. He fired his rifle from the hip, point-blank range. 3 Germans fell. He dropped his empty rifle, drew his pistol, shot 2 more Germans trying to surrender. He was not taking prisoners. Not today. Not after Brandon. He threw another grenade into a nearby foxhole, cleared it, moved to the next position, killed 2 more Germans. His hands moved automatically. Reload, aim, fire, kill, repeat. Other American soldiers saw what was happening. They followed Audie's assault. The entire company surged forward. The German position collapsed. The defenders retreated or died. The hill was taken. The battle was won. But Audie did not feel victorious. He sat down next to a dead German soldier. His hands were covered in blood. His uniform was soaked with sweat and blood, some of it his, most of it other people's. He was shaking, not from fear, from adrenaline crash, from the realization that he should be dead. By every logical calculation, charging a fortified position alone should have gotten him killed in the first 10 seconds. The lieutenant approached. Audie expected to be court-martialed for disobeying orders. Instead, the lieutenant recommended him for a medal. "Murphy, you just saved this entire company. You have the instincts of a natural warrior. We need men like you." Audie said nothing. He did not feel like a warrior. He felt empty, hollow. Brandon was dead. No amount of dead Germans would bring him back. The medics recovered Brandon's body. They wrapped him in a tarp, tagged him, added him to the casualty list. Another name, another dead American, another family back home that would receive a telegram. "We regret to inform you, Sarah would never marry Brandon. The ring in his pocket would be sent home to his parents." Audie wondered if they would give it to Sarah or keep it as a memorial. That night, Audie tried to clean Brandon's blood off his uniform. It had dried, stained the fabric, would not come out, no matter how hard he scrubbed. Some stains were permanent. He gave up, put the uniform back on. The blood was part of it now, part of him. He wrote a short letter home. "I am fine. Sending money. Love, Audie." He did not mention Brandon, did not mention the charge up the hill, did not mention anything real, because how could he explain what war was doing to him? How could he put it into words? The other soldiers looked at him differently now. They had seen him charge a machine gun nest alone, seen him kill 8 Germans in less than 2 minutes, seen him do something that should have been impossible. They respected him. Some feared him. Audie Murphy, the quiet farm boy from Texas, had become the most dangerous man in the company. But Audie did not want respect, did not want fear. He just wanted Brandon to still be alive. Wanted to go back 24 hours and tell him to keep his head down, but time only moved forward, never backward. And Brandon was gone. Just another ghost. Just another face that would haunt Audie's dreams for the rest of his life. The Sicily campaign ended in mid-August. The 3rd Infantry Division boarded ships for the next invasion. Italy, the mainland, more mountains, more combat, more death. Audie Murphy had killed more than 30 enemy soldiers. He had earned his first medal. had been promoted. He was becoming exactly what the Army needed, a killer. Efficient, fearless, deadly. But medals did not erase memories. Promotions did not bring back the dead. And Audie Murphy was learning the terrible truth about being a hero. Heroes were just survivors who lived long enough to tell the story. Heroes carried ghosts, and Audie Murphy's ghosts were growing in number with every battle. Next episode, Italy, the mountains of hell. The moment Audie Murphy earned his first Bronze Star, and the day he realized he was no longer the frightened farm boy who vomited after his first kill. He was something else now, something the war had created, something that could not go back to normal even if the war ended tomorrow.